Guys, I made it back. Third video today here at mine and Carolyn's house, and I hope you've been enjoying my talk to you and expressing love to you, and so you can have a better understanding of that and understanding your identity and knowing it's a life worth living, you know. And so anyhow, I told you about the story of me getting the black eye. Thaxton hit me in the eye with his elbow, and I got a good ribbon at work about it from the guys, and of course, going to church, it didn't stop us from going to church. Anything happened on. So Carol said, "You gonna go to church with a black eye?" I said, "Yeah, I'll go to church." And so I kept people staring at me and said, "Oh, they must have got in a fight or something." Carolyn said, "No, no, no, I didn't hit Tim," anything like that. Thaxton turned over and hit him with his elbow. So don't always assume that you know the whole story behind things that you see, and that's what we're experiencing now, is that you don't know the whole story behind what's happening out there for us right now. Understand that this is under control, okay? God is under control because you're going to be under control, and you're going to win control over situations in life. This deal is happening with our government and everything. We're gonna win and be over and be in control, and this is not gonna overcome us. We're not gonna be overcome by these things. And you're gonna see. I'm gonna tell you. Say one day you say, well, Tim was right about that. I'm right about it. You just wait and see. Well, how long is it gonna take? Ever how long it takes. That's how long things take. It's however how long they take. A lot of things had to be exposed. A lot of things had to be dealt with. A lot of people's eyes had to be open. And that's your eyes need to be opened about what I'm talking to you about. And that you don't get a black eye and close your eyes where you can't see, because you're gonna have clear vision about where you're going and how you're gonna be able to overcome to overcome in this life and everything. So anyhow, getting back to my story there, eventually, even black eyes go away. Eventually, problems will go away. You just keep hanging in there, and they'll go away. And if you got a bloody lip or a busted nose or whatever, those things will heal up. That you will be able to overcome that, and then you'll be able to laugh about it. I didn't think it was too funny when I got elbowed in the eye by Thaxton when he was a baby, but I got a lot of good laughs about it. And I think that's another thing that you have to understand, is that you need to laugh. You need to have the joy of the Lord. The joy of the Lord is your strength. You need to have joy. You need to have laughter. I was expressing to my sister-in-law. I said, your body doesn't know the difference between a real laugh and a put-on laugh, a false laugh. I said, it don't know any difference. And so there's times that you say, how can I laugh? How can I use? Sometimes you got to say, ha, ha, ha. You got ha, ha, ha. And if you keep saying that, then you're going to start laughing. Not because you're feeling foolish, but the laughter is begin to now become life to you. It's begin now helping you overcome that. So sometimes you even got to laugh at yourself, And I know it's hard for you to take it sometimes if somebody's laughing at you, and I'd always pick at people and say, "Are you laughing at me?" And they said, "No, Tim, we're not laughing at you." I said, "Oh, you're laughing with me, right?" "Yes, we're laughing with you." So when you're laughing, I'm laughing with you. I'm not laughing at you, because the joy of the Lord is going to be your strength, and you'll be able to achieve so much if you have a lot of laughter and joy in your heart. Haven't you seen people that are just kind of, I may use the word, down in the mouth? They're just like, man, if their lip would hang down even further, they'd step on it. I mean, just like, ooh, those guys must have been drinking apple cider vinegar like I do. But they may be sucking on a lemon, ooh, he's got an ugly looking face, And so that happens sometimes, is that you got to kind of get hold of your face and say, okay, you need to smile today. You need to laugh at yourself. You need to laugh at the problem. One of the most powerful things you can do is you can, when you laugh at the devil, and then he's gonna say, well, I got you where I've kicked you around, and just laugh at the devil. Just begin to laugh at him. Just laugh at him and laugh at him and laugh at him, and he doesn't like that because he can't handle that, because that's bringing joy. It's bringing joy to you. It's bringing destruction to him when you're laughing about those things that are happening to you. Laugh about them, and I guarantee you, if you laugh about them, those will go away pretty quick. They will. But if you get mad about it, dwell on it, soul over it, downtrodden over it, then it gets heavier and heavier and heavier, and then it's hard to lift off of you. And that's what you want to do. You want to just lift it off of you as fast as you can. You want to get it away from you. So that's why there's always laughter in my home. Always. And you people that know us personally, that are around us, we love to laugh. I guess maybe because we're kind of funny looking sometimes. But no, we love to laugh. And we love to have a good time, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have a good time. That's the way Carol and I were in our marriage. We were having a good time. We were having a good time, because that's the only time we wanted to have was a good time. You say, well, you had problems. Yeah. But our good times always outweighed the problems. That's why I said, when you understand all these things, then I can't say you won't remember those things in the past, but they won't be effective on you as you're living the joy of the time that you're living in now. So, like I said, we had that piece of land, and it was quite a job. I tell you, we had to clean off we had those huge trees. Remember I told you about, we sold the timber on that, and it paid for the property. And we had some more big trees in the back, and it was a neat thing, because Thax and I would go behind the house there, and we had if you went back further enough, there was a kind of a little creek that run through. And at first, I think they built it as a drain, like a water drain where water could drain off the properties and things. But eventually it became more like a little creek. And we used to go down there and fish, and we loved the bass fish and white perch fish and all that. So, y'all have to forgive me. I love to fish. Not only do I love to fish to catch fish, but I love to fish and catch men and catch women, catch them for the kingdom. See, the thing about Carolyn was that she never had to take fish off of her hook. She never had to bait her hook. That's the same way with me. I never had to take the fish off of my hook. I never had to put bait on my hook. My line is always baited, and God always takes the fish off of that. Now he lets me be part of the cleanup, and that's what I always did. When we'd caught fish, I always took the fish off the hooks, baited the hooks, and I cleaned the fish when we got home. And so, again, like I said, now I don't have to bait my hook. I don't have to take it off the hook, because God does that with you. But I help to clean you up. You know what? You guys clean up pretty good. I can see that. Yeah, you guys are looking good. I love all the I'm going to say the recourse, the response that comes back to me, and I hear these things. It brings such joy to me. It brings such fulfillment to me and to my life. I just can't tell you how much I get out of that, and how much and know how much of a privilege is that to be part of that. Now, cleaning fish, does it get kind of stinky sometimes? Yeah, it gets kind of stinky sometimes, but if you understand that if you get the smell off, then you got a fresh catch, and it eats real well. It tastes real well. So the cleaning is okay. That's part of enjoying the freshness of that, enjoying the cook of that, enjoying the nutrition of that. And so that's why I love to catch fish in real life too. I love to catch fish in the spiritual life. I love fishing. And anyhow, I thought that might sound kind of silly to you, but the feeling that I had to express it to you like that. So, Carolyn she was getting involved. She's always been involved, and at that time she was getting involved at the church, and we'd always been in lay ministry. I was the youngest deacon in the church at the time. We were going to a Baptist church there at a Woodrow Baptist Church there in Silsbee. And like I said, I was the youngest deacon there, and I thought it was a real honor because I got ordained the same time my dad did as a deacon at the church. But anyhow, we were getting involved in building relationships, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to get involved. Now, you that are not going to a church or have a church home right now, I pray that you will start looking. I pray that you ask God where you're supposed to go and be part of, because you know what? They need you. Just like you need me, they need you. They need. Remember I said that we're painting the picture, the colors that I have that I'm painting, so we have a big picture understanding what your part is in the picture, in the scheme of these things, in the plan of these things. That's what I do every day for you. I paint a little bit on you to bring you into focus, drawing a picture of you, so you have a big picture understanding of who you are, who your identity is, and what you were made for. And that's why this life is worth living. You see what I'm saying? You didn't know I was an artist, did you? I'm not really. I paint by the numbers, and that's what I'm doing. I'm painting your number, okay? And I can do pretty good by that, but drawing freehand, some people are real talented. I can draw some, but I'm not like that. So, Carol and I were getting involved in church, ministry, and being the younger guy, I'm the youngest one there, youngest deacon. And it was a great privilege, and I always took the responsibility to heart, because I take the responsibility of talking to you at heart, to be what all I'm supposed to be for you, and at the time working in the church. And so Carol and I were, like I said, so involved, and it was great because all the family went to church there. And I remember when I was a little boy there at the church, I was the only kid that sang in the choir because I loved to sing in the choir, loved being part of what was going on. And I love being part of that because now we had our baby, and Jackson was enjoying Vacation Bible School. Man, if you've never been to a Vacation Bible School, or let your kids go, let them go. Man, they'll have such a grand time. I remember doing all kinds of things at Bible school. I made my dad a billfold, and my mom's old house, of course it's gone now, but in her old house, she'd have those ceramic plaques that I made, and it was just great things to see those, and how much memory that it brought back, and and how much I enjoyed going to Bible school and things like that. And that's where my son got saved. He got saved at the Bible school. The thing it was, he didn't get saved at the Bible school there. He didn't get saved at that time when we were going to that church. Then God led us to be part of another church there in Lumberton, Texas. It's called Fletcher Emanuel Baptist Church. And so we went to church there, and Jackson, he make all the Bible schools in Silsbee and Lumberton. If they had one going on, he was going to be there. He loved that. And so one day he went to Bible school at Assembly of God Church in Silsbee, and he got saved. Being a Baptist, I thought, I don't know if that took or not, him being in Assembly of God Church, So I mean, that's silly. But anyhow, we made sure one of the older deacons at the Fletcher Emanuel, he talked to Thaxton to be sure he knew, understand, and he did understand everything. And that was kind of silly, to bring like seeing competition between denominations, things like that. But anyhow, Thaxton got saved and filled with the Spirit when he was a little kid, and I thought that was really neat too. So anyhow, we got to be part of Fletcher Emanuel Baptist Church, and I was a deacon there at Wells. And we began to build a lot of relationships there, and we began to see a lot of spiritual things that were starting to happen. I talked about a a fierce heart of love, knowing love, and a hungry heart to know love. And as you offer that food to your heart, begin to open your heart. Let your heart be an open door to those things. As you begin to feed on things, you hunger for more of those stuff. And so that was one of the reasons that kind of drew us to that church, because there was our Sunday school teacher. He was a spirit-filled person at a Baptist church, and he taught all the neat things, you know. I say all the neat things. I mean, they taught a lot of good things overall, but he was feeding us the things that we needed to hear at that time for our spiritual growth. And I thank God for Billy when he did that. And I don't think he really knew what he was doing either, but he was so fired up about it. It was almost like it was more fun going to Sunday school than it was to go to the big service. Anyhow, not to downgrade that at all, but when you learn those things and have a heart towards God, then you can start experiencing a lot of great things. And that was our first experience, and I can tell you how that led into divine appointments for me. I probably vaguely mentioned some of that to you, but I'll continue to do that. And so when you're living that life of love and you have a hunger for God, understand this: you can't understand love and have a hunger for love unless you know God. Now you can have the fleshly desires of the heart, and you call it love, for sexual desires, for material desires, and all those things. They call those love. They call that love. But that's not really love. That's just an earthly, fleshly name they gave to something. The true love is knowing God. And when you truly know God, then you can know. Remember, I talked about the three points of intimacy in your life, spiritual intimacy. If you understand spiritual intimacy, you can have mental intimacy, understanding, and things like that. And then you can have the physical, the sexual side of that if you're married. You can have that. Excuse me. You can have that and experience it too. So you can't really understand love unless you know God's love for you. Like I said, that love may be lust, or it may be a fleshly desire, which that is part of your makeup as well. That's part of things that should be developed into your life properly. And hopefully we'll talk about later on, and for those who have young kids, we'll talk about those steps, why are they experiencing those. I talked briefly about it in some of the other past videos. But anyhow, that's, we were growing so much spiritually, we just couldn't eat enough. You know how it is sometimes, of course, when you have something like, maybe something like ice cream, man, you love it so much you just keep eating. First thing you know, you've ate the whole box, type deal. That's kind of a hunger. That's probably a very bad example of it, but that's kind of a hunger that you really have inside of you. So you try to fulfill that hunger of love inside of you by other things. And then when other things come in, it kind of blocks you from receiving that kind of love that you need. And if you understand that, then you'll have the love life that you need in your family, love life with your wife or husband, with your children, even a love life I have a love life with you guys, which is completely different than being married. Completely different being the family. I have a love life with you as my extended family, as my brothers and sisters. And that's important, very important too. But as you begin to develop the hunger for that, and begin to be fed spiritually, then that's when you start to grow. Then that's when, man, you're exposed to a lot of great divine things, divine inspirations, divine appointments, and there's all divine things. And if you're not that way, then you have the opposite of being divine. You have the plot that's trying to demonize you, if I may say that, or trying to dictate to you, or trying to dominate you. It's trying to curse you is what it's trying to do. But as you learn those other things, then the life is worth living, because then you start to gain a great insight of a lot of things. And you don't have to be smart. It can be spiritually smart, supernaturally smart. When I say smart, we have the capabilities, our mind capabilities, because we don't totally use the space that's available in our mind to comprehend and to know things. And so if you don't have educational wisdom and stuff like, or educational education, you can still have wisdom with the Holy Spirit. Now it's like myself, I'm a wise person and I'm a smart person, not because I have a great education, and the wisdom that I have is not because I've just experienced so much life. Now that brings some experience in life will bring wisdom too, but the wisdom that I have is wisdom from the Holy Spirit. so and I'll say this to you, you're never in a lack of wisdom because you can always ask for it and it's always available for you to have. You may not go to get a PhD doctorate degree. You may not do those things. I have, my son he's a college graduate from Texas A&M. Well, he has a great educational knowledge. He has in education, in which he's a lot smarter than I am in that. But see, I'm still his daddy. I got that over it. But I have wisdom by living life experience and also by the wisdom of the Holy Spirit. But I'm not saying my son doesn't have wisdom, which he does. He's a great man. I love him so much. He's doing a great job in his family, taking care of his wife, just like Rivers men always take care of their girlfriends or lady friends or their wives. I don't say wives, the wife. I never had more than one wife. So you know what I'm trying to say to you. Hopefully you do. So he's taking good care of Mandy, his wife. He's taking good care of his kids. He's doing a great job with them because he's a man of wisdom from the Holy Spirit. So as you gain that type of wisdom, then you're not limited. Man, I think it's awesome. When I start thinking about things, the market, the economy, words said around, they want to put limitations. But when I start thinking about something and I ask for the wisdom of that, oh man, Katie barred the door then. You're talking about great understanding, a great way to know to do something. And I'll be talking about 5 things that you should do so you can build a habit that will help you achieve a lot of things. I'll talk more about that. Not trying to do a seminar here with you or anything like that, but we'll teach you the 5 things maybe you should try to do before in the mornings or whatever. You may not be able to get them all in, but you start to develop a pattern, you start to develop a habit, and it will help you. And I want you to, and I'm starting to look more into my dreams and aspirations, and writing those things down, picturing the things that I'm going to do, and just refreshing that to us. That needs to be a refreshing thing to you each and every day. So that's the way Carolyn did. She was always an input. She's always gaining knowledge. She's always speaking out knowledge. And that's why I always said that we always shared everything that we had. And there's certain things you can't share. You see what I'm saying? But there's things that you do share, the personal things. You know what I'm talking about. But there's things you can share and you should share, because the more you share those, and I say that too, and I can share personal things with you too, because the more things that you share, the more blessed to give, right, than it is to receive. You can't help but receiving when you give. Law of reciprocity always comes back to you. So as you begin to share those things, will help you increase and help you gain the perspective and knowledge in the place that you're supposed to be. So that's why we're always sharing. We're always giving out, always giving out, always giving out, always giving out. And as we give out, the more comes back in. It's almost like it tries to overtake me when I give out so much. That's the way it was, the love I had for my wife, Carolyn. I gave out so much love to Carolyn. So much love to Carolyn. And I'll explain more about that too. We talk about all kinds of stuff. But I want you to know how much love God is expressing to you. The more love you express to you, the more that you receive that love, the more healthier you become, the more vibrant you become, the more wisdom you become, the more living the life It's life worth living. Living the life that God has paid for us. I tell you what, folks, it's a good thing I'm sitting down. I'm getting pretty excited now. And I guess you can always say this about Tim. I always stay excited. There's always excitement going on. It's always excitement. I think that's why I'm feeling younger every day, you know. And they did a thing at church the other day, and they called for the people that are 30 years old, 30 and under, want to come up there. I feel like running up there myself. So, but I'm far away from 30, okay? But anyhow, it just brings vitality and bring enthusiasm and things like that. It's a life, folks. It's this life worth living. You know, you can have everything in life that you really want, as long as you know your identity and what you put first in your life. God don't withhold cars, boats, properties, monies, and jewelry, and, you know, all those things, bling blings of the world or whatever, you know. He don't hold those things back. He don't mind you having those things, as long as those things don't have you. You know, what's the word say? The love of money is the root of all evil. Money is not the root of evil, but the love of money, the love that you have set before your love towards God. See what I'm saying? Love is the principal thing. Love is the principal thing. We're going to talk about the fruits of the Spirit. When you have love, all these other things come to you. Faithfulness, encouragement, purity. I mean, all those things, they just keep coming to you, because you have initialized and started the love walk. You started that. And that's why I always say, keep walking in love. You know, you hear me say that. We all have a very few sayings, and that's like, we are eternal, keep walking in love. You know, we always say those things because the repetition of that, understanding of that, brings more of that to you each time that you say it. That's why we're talking about confession, how you speak about things, how you say things. You say something long enough, you say a lie long enough, you'll believe it to be true, even though it's still a lie. That's what the enemy wants you to do. He wants you to be lied to, because that's what he's doing to you each day. You're not going to be lied to today. Today, something exciting is going to happen to one of you guys. I don't know who it is, but this is a lady, this woman. Something very exciting is going to happen for you today. Now, I can't tell you what it is, because I don't know what it is. I just know it's going to be something exciting. So you, whoever that is, and you hear this video, and when that happens to you, will you respond back to me and tell me, please? I'd love to hear that. I love to hear the testimony. We pray for people all the time, but sometimes we never hear back the testimony or the confirmation of those things. I need to hear back. So I'm saying to you, lady, I could almost speak your name, but I'm not. I'm saying, lady, something exciting is going to happen for you today. And will you share that with me? And when you share that with me, I'm going to share it with the next video that we talk about. So anyhow, I want you to go out today and have a great day. Know that your steps is ordered of the Lord. It's good to have them ordered. Ordered steps are in step. We're in cadence. We're in step. We're in step where we're supposed to be. We're not going to step in something we're not supposed to step in. We're not going to step off of something that we're not supposed to step, because our steps is ordered of God. If you understand that and speak that over your life, you'll see. You can put a prayer in the hedge of protection around you. Your steps is ordered of the Lord. And this will happen. You will see. I promise you. If it doesn't happen, if you're doing the things and they don't happen, then you can come back and say, Tim, that's not true. But if you do the things I tell you to, those things will happen. And you'll be able to say, that really happened. That was really good. And it will happen for you. So again, into my third video today, I promise I'll be more diligent about coming back and doing more videos soon. But keep looking for my post, and you can actually go on YouTube, Tim and Carolyn Rivers, or you can Facebook me, and I'll I'll befriend you or whatever, and you can read my post if you want to. You don't have to. I don't charge. I'm a giver, okay? I give it to you today. All right. I'm going to say bye for now, but I want to say, as we always say, we are eternal, and I will talk to you real soon. Go have a blessed day. Thank you. Love you guys. Bye.